Okay, so here's our T6, here's our T5. With this, we need to find the transverse process, so we go 2 interspinous spaces up, 1, 2. Then we go lateral, out about 1 inch so we can find the transverse process. To double check, you can use what is called spinous wiggle, where you press down on that transverse process and you feel that spinous wiggle underneath your hand. With this, we'll be using inferior hand contact. So we do a tissue pull from inferior to superior, from medial to lateral. We put that inferior hand right on that contact point. Then with our stabilization, we stabilize on the opposite side, just like this. Now notice my stabilization hand, or arm, is above my contact hand. The two hands are perpendicular to each other, and also the pisiforms are right across from each other, right across. So this would be incorrect, this would be correct. And so then you get your episternal notch up over a little bit, so you can go right through the disc plane line. And then you want to make sure you have your arms and hands just the way we're supposed to have them. From there, we go to the torque. The torque on this one with a hand, this one is considered Y. So you kind of think of it as, hey, why aren't you stopping? Next, this is your Z. It's kind of like zzz, stop sleeping, stop sleeping. This one is considered your X, so your X might be standing right beside you. So just to remember that this is your Y-axis, your positive Y direction of your axis. This is your positive Z direction of your axis. This is your positive X-axis direction. So let's talk about translation and rotation. With translation, in the positive Y direction would be going up this way. Negative Y translation would be going down. Positive Z direction would be going straight forward. Negative Z would be coming backwards. Now a positive X would be coming this way. A negative X would be coming the opposite way. Now let's talk about theta. Theta stands for rotation. So you have to imagine your fingers just like this, and then use another right hand rule and put your thumb in relationship to whatever axis you're dealing with. This is your Y-axis, so let's put it like this, in the direction of the Y-axis. Now if you're rotating in the direction of your fingers, that's positive Y direction. If you're going the opposite direction of your fingers, that is negative Y. So let's think of it this way. You have to make sure and put the theta in there. So this is a positive theta Y. This is a negative theta Y. Now let's talk about the Z. If you're talking about the Z-axis, you have to put your thumb straight forward. And a positive Z direction would be coming this way. A negative Z direction would be going the opposite way. Now let's talk about X. We put our thumb in the direction of the X. Remember your X direction, positive X direction. Then we do a negative theta X, coming away from your fingers are pointing, these fingers. And then a positive theta X is moving in the direction of your fingers. To make it more like your vertebra, so let's say your vertebra goes backward, that would be a negative Z translation. It tilts downward, which would be a negative theta X. Let's say it's a PRS. Then that means the spinous kicks over to the right. So it kicks over to the right, which would be a positive theta Y. Positive theta Y. And then it goes up on the right side. So that would be going up on the right side, which would be a negative theta z. So if we want to do a PLI dash T, we would have a P, which is the negative z, and also a negative theta x. And then we have the L, PL, which the L is going this direction, so that would be a negative theta y. Then we have the I, so on the left side it went inferior, left side went inferior, which would be a negative theta z. Here's your graphs again regarding Cartesian coordinate system. Here we have the regular Cartesian planes, looking at it from the posterior. Then we have a demonstration of negative theta z rotation, which the right thumb would be pointing in the way of the positive theta z, and your finger direction, it would be going in the direction of your fingers. Next, we have the thumb pointing in the positive z direction, but it went a negative theta z, so it went in the direction opposite your fingers are pointing. Next, we have a representation of the coordinate planes with respect to one vertebra, then two vertebrae stacked upon each other. And this is the conclusion of part 5 of cervical thoracic. Thank you.